Hello friends, my name is Old Man Cloud. I upload daily Bazaar gameplay videos to my YouTube channel, playing as Vanessa today. Thank you so much to those of you who are supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. It's a tiny little channel, tiny little project. And it means a huge amount to me to see kind of these positive comments and see people liking and subscribing. It makes a big difference. It's really nice. Anyway, with the sappy stuff out of the way, let's jump in. That is an interesting start. It has to be Icy Bayonet, doesn't it? Very interesting start. Pair you with a fast weapon. You can only freeze small items, but I feel like that's still pretty good. And worst case scenario, we can look at potentially transforming you into something else with the Icy Enchant, because the Icy Enchant is just so good. So we didn't pick up anything particularly fast, but at least we got some weapons on board. We can take on all comers here. Let's try for the Fang. Freezing small items. I feel like that's going to be very effective early on. It's potentially not... Oh, it should still be pretty good against weapons, Vanessa. Yeah, and Icy is just a rare enchant, so it's fun to play with. And if we do find that it's getting outscaled or it's not doing its job properly, we can always look at transforming it. Do we want to upgrade the Icy Bayonet while we're here? I think we do. The damage increase is minimal, but the reason for doing this is that if we decide to later transform it, we will transform it into a silver. So I think for that reason alone, it's worth grabbing that upgrade there. And Knee Brace is definitely coming onto the field. I feel like we're relatively unlikely to win today. So a silver Knee Brace is fantastic. I think we'll do it like this. So we're pretty much forsaking day one unless we end up against a pretty weak Vanessa here. But with the Knee Brace, we should be in a pretty good spot for day two, I'm hoping. So our freezers will be doing something here, but we didn't find a fast lad to try with the freezers. I think they're just going to be putting on too much poison. This is a pretty nasty early Vanessa build, to be honest. Yeah, just way too much poison. Even without the Knee Brace, we're not winning that. So the decision to play the Knee Brace is justified. Early Knee Brace with Vanessa, the NL Classic, can be very strong. So now we really need to look to... Let's take the XP while we're here, but we really need to look to improve our board significantly today. Pick up some actually decent weapons. And would love left or right-handed, so we'll take left-handed. So now we really are looking for a katana or something along those lines. Not that order, that would be a mistake. Cure is not what we're looking for, but because the Knee Brace has given us health, we get a bit more value from Vitality, and I'm pretty sure we can beat Rogue Scrapper. And then yeah, really looking for a weapons merchant or something along those lines to bring the build together. Unfortunately our freezers don't do much here. Really would love Shark Claws as well, some type of scaling. Or maybe we get to the point where you can start considering transforming our Icy Enchant, but we'll see how we go. Even though this doesn't look great, I think we should be fine, especially if we can get some crits. The regen potentially coming in clutch here. And maybe should have Calico on the left. Just thinking with given that it's scaling its crit chance.
See that plank?
Although we prefer to have something going off a little bit faster, I think. Alright, so let's really improve our board here. Let's give us some good stuff. Your good stuff.
Teaches stillness. I prefer action.
Not exactly what we're looking for, but certainly good. We will be getting to level 3 today because we took the XP and took the Rogue Scrapper. So we are going to be expanding our board. These aren't really what we're looking for though. Neither are these, unfortunately.
I fight alongside you.
Not a good shot there. Really want that fast firing weapon. And we don't get it, but we do get a bolus upgrade, which is something. So I guess we play it something like this. It's pretty aggro Vanessa. Could be angrier, could always be angrier. Puzzle Dragon, good name. We have a lot of HP. Pig in general is just not great early. They do have a lot of burn. Toxic Matchbox is pretty nasty. Surely we win this, especially with our freeze coming through. Because you now freeze 2 small items with Cutlass having multicast. So yeah, we should be fine here. I hope. Come on, brother! Oh no! Oh, that's rough. That's a rough loss. Oh dear. So despite a really strong start, a really strong enchanted item start, and the knee brace, we're in a rough spot. Do we look at transforming you now? I think we hold off. We hold off for a little bit. There's still a decent chance we pick up a katana. What are the other really fast? You're a good get.
So, how about this?
You're decent.
Oh, you're leaving. That's good. Do you have
Sure. Yeah, we really want to see a katana, don't we? Gotta take a fight. I feel like despite losing the first 2 days, we're a pretty nasty board. We had some rough early fights. But of course, weapon spammy Vanessa tends to fall off as well. But we'll see how we go. We're also running out of ammo, and we haven't found the shark claws as the real killer here. So we're just not scaling as much as we'd like. But once we expand our board, we'll be able to get things into a bit of a better spot, and we're finding good skills at least, and we can definitely take on you.
Sparks! They're everywhere!
Good chance to have a sip of my coffee. Would love to see it rigged. There really is a big disparity between the level 3 elite boss encounters. The eccentric Aetheryte being a lot easier than the Hoover by Hooligan. What would we love to see Icy on? I'm sure there's some busted small items that you could get the Icy enchant on. Certainly more busted than Bayonet. Alright, so how do we want to run this? We definitely want Figurehead out on the board, like so. Knee Brace will play against human opponents probably. And in which case we probably play it like... I mean, the barbed wire is pretty useless. We probably want the damage bonus on the Calico. No, we probably still want on the Cutlass. Maybe something like this. And then bring in the knee brace for human fights. It's just too good, I think. So we want to upgrade a bronze, I would think. Upgrade Cutlass? Or let's look for skills, because strength is just so good for us. But I think we'll cash out on right-handed rather than risk completely whiffing. And yeah, that on double barrel is pretty nice. And definitely taking a look at the weapons merchant. We've got plenty of friends. Actually, it's only the one friend because Piranha's got jibbed and isn't a friend. But we're still not too interested in you. It's too late for Lang Zhon.
Come back and tell me.
I think that makes me tempted to play you like this. Maybe like this. Even though you run out of ammo. That was a pretty bad vendor. And we'll upgrade our Cutlass. So we improved a big amount that day. Particularly with getting Figurehead on the board. We're pretty angry Vanessa now. You love to see Mac as well. We're definitely getting Knee Brace out here. What are we getting you out here instead of? Probably our slowest item, which I think is Calico. I think we're just going against a Mac, and with Figurehead we're just going for full aggro here. Trying to get them down before they can get any damage over time or
When we are finished,
regen
may I
online.
accept you for study?
Which looks like we should be able to do here, especially with our freeze. Magic Carpet is strong but takes a while to get going, so I think we should be able to burn them down pretty easily. Like that.
Share with me your secrets.
Silver Knee Brace doing work. It's gotten us 600 HP so far. Falls off in the mid game, of course, but it's giving us a lot of HP with Vanessa, which is great survivability. Really would love to see an upgrade for Figurehead here. And there's still better items we can have instead of Cutlass. Let's take a look at Smalls.
Finer than me.
Sure.
You're a smart one.
So you scale your crit chance pretty quickly now. Whenever you use another weapon, it gains crit chance. So maybe we do want you to be gaining the damage, because you're going to hit so hard the first time you go off. Silencer, you got to put in the bag. Who knows where we're going to end up with this build, and Silencer is just a great option to have in the bag. Barbed Wire we have no need for. Piranha could find its way back onto the board. Let's have a look.
Welcome to Gigamart. Can I help you find everything?
Don't think we can afford the space for Cannonball, because we really are, we're aiming to kill very, very quickly. So I think we'll cash out Piranha here for the 1 extra gold. We're aiming to kill very, very quickly with our build, in case you couldn't gather that from the build.
Not going to like this.
So we're really prioritizing fast damage like Grenade and Bolus. Really, we want Calico to be going off once and delivering the finishing blow, ideally. You're tempting because Crow's Nest would be a good have-and holder to set up future pivots. But I think while we're super strong, we're going to press for every advantage we can get, including XP advantage. It's a shame we block getting left-handed. So that was pretty much according to plan. Calico going off once, critting, and pretty much finishing the job for us. So that's what we're really going for. And we've got plenty of health to hopefully ensure that we don't die before that happens.
My training is about letting go of what holds you
It has to be lifting, I'm pretty
Think you're ready
sure.
for that?
It's pretty early. Lifting can do great work for us. So we're now looking to buy, sell weapons. Shark Claws is fantastic. Bayonet upgrade you just have to
Use it
take.
well. Make me proud.
This is our ride or die, I think. Shark Claws at silver? Costs 8. I think we play... It kind of goes against what I was saying with the super fast burst damage. Maybe we bag it
Enjoy the thrill of battle.
and don't play it quite yet. Maybe we bring it onto the board after today's fight. Hopefully today we can just burst them down, and then once it becomes increasingly difficult to burst down with our ammo, we get rid of some ammo items and put in Shark Claws. I kind of like that strategy. Would like to buy and sell you, which I can't do with that plan. So how are we going to play today? We're probably going to play it like this, which means Bolus could go. And I think Silencer, with how we've built it now, I feel like it's not a one weapon build. So I don't think, or I feel like that pivot is quite unlikely. So I feel like I'm going to sell out of Silencer to enable this buy sell. Alright, pretty happy with that. Now that we only have 2 pennies, I'll just take the freebie. And I think today's probably the last day we play Knee Brace. Oh, I hate to see a pig. I think we need to play Shark Claws against a pig. I think we play it like this. I don't think we're going to be bursting you down, which means I think I'd rather have Shark Claws, which means I probably want to play it like this. I think this is better against a pig build. Bring in the Shark Claws. If it was against a Mac, a Dooley or Vanessa, so anyone else, I think I would have played the burstier items in preference to the Shark Claw. But against Pig, where you're just so much less likely to burst them down massively, I'd rather have the inevitability from Shark Claws. Pig hates Shark Claws. And we have so much survivability. I can't believe you didn't crit. What are you doing to me, brother? Think we should be okay? Calico? Save me, brother? Okay, thank goodness. Okay. I feel like Shark Claws won us that. I feel like that was good thinking, if I don't say so myself. Or at least I'm happy with the result, and that's what really matters. You've got to have the results-oriented thinking. So now what do? It's probably getting a bit too greedy to play knee brace on the board, so it's probably gone. In which case you probably play something like this and look for a way to get extra ammo onto the double barrel. I think Grenade's Time in the Sun is probably done. And knee brace is probably done as well, but let's hold on to them for the time being. We really want to upgrade Figurehead. Tempting to take the reload on the double barrel, but I really just don't think I can afford the slot. And Lockbox can be great with this build, but Figurehead is kind of doing the same thing, and we can't really afford it at gold anyway. Smalls, I think let's just take a bit of cash, seeing as we're a bit strapped, and the weapon is good for our scaling with lifting. Slowly getting there. You're an interesting lad, but you don't fit with what we're doing. Scoville is a DPS check. Do we have enough DPS is the question. I would think so. We're pretty nasty. You're 2 extra XP. I feel like we're fast enough. But losing would be pretty disastrous. Yeah, I'm not going to risk it. I feel like we're fast enough, but we're not super fast in terms of aggro Vanessa. So I'll take Preening Duelist because all talk would be great. Gunpowder would be really great, and Pistol Sword we could maybe consider pivoting into an ammo type build. It's good enough to consider the pivot. Yeah, that's great. That's enough on the double barrel to where I'm not too fussed about running out of ammo now. I think rarely will fights be going longer than 3 shots. Let's have a look at a silver weapon. Never lucky, but we still get the lifting bonus. We have great skills to upgrade. Yep, sure. And sure, cheap weapons are great for us. Shark Claw upgrade is great for us, so we're going to have to sell out probably to afford that.
Stillness. I prefer action.
This is so cool. Obsidian Ballista. No way of affording it even if we were to sell everything we have, but such a cool item. Gold Shark Claws is a great get as well. And lifting's doing a bit of work, already giving us +10. Shame our econ isn't in a great spot. Another Vanessa. Who's the angrier Vanessa? Let's find out. Our freezers could help us here.
You should know, I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago.
Well, they're not angry, despite getting augmented weaponry. They're defensive. They're an elemental depth charge Vanessa, which is a very strong Vanessa build, but it's maybe a little too... They're going to get stronger as the game goes on, put it that way. But they are going to get their freeze off. I don't think it's going to be enough, brother. As long as we get in, yeah, one more hit.
Less blunder, more plunder.
Elemental Depth Charge is a very strong item at the moment, but it requires some CBR that they didn't have yet. Okay. Why is my stash bugged? Stash always seems to be bugged at the moment. We have such little money, I'm just going to take the dock event for the free weapon for lifting. And we absolutely have to take on a fight. Fang would be an interesting get. Pair up the Fang with Bayonet. Yeah, we'd definitely be playing a Fang if we get it. The Cutlass is replaceable. Calico possibly replaceable, but it's also kind of our heavy hitter at the moment, and it hits pretty hard. There's the Fang. The upgrade, you know exactly where this one's going. It's going to Figurehead. Huge buff to the board. Let's think here. Cutlass is a bit slow, and it doesn't have much crit chance. I think I'd rather play Obsidian Fang here to go super fast with Icy Bayonet. In which case, I guess you play the Zorkid here. Probably here. and look to replace it with another small item. Small items also have better synergy with Shark Claws and Figurehead. We really want to be playing a small weapon spam build. And we have to go up against Lone Shark for your claws.
Paying it back.
This was a good get, Obsidian Fang, because it benefits doubly from Shark Claws and Figurehead buffs, as well as from... Actually, it doesn't benefit from right-handed because we're playing it with Icy Bayonet. We should probably stick it to the left for that reason. Sure. Shark Claws is aquatic, so we are using aquatic items. There were better items to get there, but that's fine. Play it something like this now. Alright, I don't think we're on the transform route now. I think we're happy with Icy Bayonet as a member of the team. Looking for cheap weapons, sure, that's just cheap enough, I think. And looking for better small than Zorkid. Some interesting stuff here, but I think the only one to take is probably you. Eels can always work. It's never too late for an Eels pivot, but not what we're looking for here. Cutlass I just don't think can make the board, so unless we got rid of Calico. This is a bit slow, but it hits super hard. I probably want the damage buff on Double Barrel because it's a bit faster. Yeah, I think I'd rather find a small item to replace Zorkid with. Oh, it's hasting the bayonet this way though, which is annoying, which is useless. So I guess we'll put it like that. And I will just take the regen, brother. I'm broke. Mac's certainly the most favoured matchup we have, which isn't to say that we're necessarily going to win. We are a very angry Vanessa though. The figurehead is the sign of an angry Vanessa. A Vanessa that's been wronged previously will play a figurehead. So how fast is your regen? You hate to see overheal. Hopefully we can get you down. Oh, you don't heal at all. Oh, you do, but very slowly, so that won't be an issue. Yeah, we're just a bit too nasty, I think. Yeah, a bit too nasty even with your regen. Losing the first two really hurts though, because we try to rush through with this type of build. But we certainly have a very strong mid-game build, especially if we could pick up a good weapon skill here. None of these. I can't afford the reroll. Even with selling out, I can't afford the reroll. That really hurts. To whiff on this skill really hurts. Even if I was to sell the Zorkid, which I'm tempted to do, as well as the Cutlass, I can't afford it. So I have no one but myself to blame for being broke. And I'm going to just leave those. So that's a complete whiff. That hurts. Let's take the free weapon again. Hopefully it's a small weapon that we can slow on the board. Interesting, but not what we do. Unfortunately, you don't get buffed from freezing, so you don't work for us. Let's take a look at medium, even though we don't have much money.
All about moderation.
Just take one buy sell. I don't think Cutlass is coming back on the board actually. So we'll take another buy sell. The lifting bonus is getting there. Even though we spent out all our money and even though Zorkid is still inexplicably on the board. Maybe we want something like this. Bonk is always great. Shock Trooper, we can definitely beat anyone. How much do I value the 1 extra XP? I think I'll take my chances at Bonk. It also has strength actually, should have been thinking of that. Also has strength, which would be a great get. Also has spices, not really what we're looking for. Junkyard Club is a good seller. We're pretty strong though. You can look at our skills. We don't have any of the super busted charging skills yet, but we have good weapon skills. Interesting. You have to be better than Zorkid, I think. I mean, you poison for an awful lot. Unlikely to go off. The idea is that we win before the 8-second mark, but I think we'll play on the board, my friend. And let's have a look at small items, hoping for small weapons to buy sell, like so. And sure, let's have a roll. Sure.
Whoever said money can't buy...
If only we had more money, we really could be leveraging into lifting, but even without that, it's doing very nicely for us. Lifting plus figurehead is a pretty nasty combination. And let's just make sure we're very, very angry now with the temporary boost. Extremely angry Vanessa. Up against another Vanessa certainly looks very angry. They've got the look going on. They've got the Mad Max skin. I think we're going to be too fast for whatever this is, but potentially famous last words. They're a very aggro slow build, which slow we don't match up particularly well against. But I think we're going to be fine. Bit of extra oomph from the toxic brass knuckles there. Amazing build, double shot glasses, incredible build. They're going to go into the late game very strong, but the fact that we managed to beat them without too much difficulty bodes really well for us. I don't think I care about extra ammo on the double barrel. We should never be getting to that stage. So I'll take the little bit of a cash injection, I think. I think 3 ammo should be more than enough on our double barrel.
Everyone here is huge.
Some good buy sells.
Tell me something. Something huge.
Don't think I want to spend on your reroll, seeing as money is at such a premium. Don't have any bronzes to upgrade. Hopefully a couple of buy sells. No such luck. Shame that a rifle is just such a terrible item. It's tempting to sell brass knuckles because it doesn't do too much and it gets us so much money. I'm gonna re-roll, which might seem strange, but looking for, yeah, exactly this, a cheaper buy sell. Unfortunately, still can't get to Zorkid, but I think I'm gonna hold on to the brass knuckles for the time being, just because we might not find anything better. And I think for the sake of, as great as your cooldown is, for the sake of 3 XP, and I'm very confident that we can beat the dragon, for the sake of 3 XP, you've got to go after the dragon here. So what are we going to stick our enchant on? Fang is already enchanted, Bayonet is already enchanted. Figurehead, I'm pretty sure, doesn't have great enchants for the most part. So this might be a double barrel situation.
It's over already.
We'll see what we're rocking.
Rally men, blades
Crit effects. Not a bad one. How do you go on Figurehead, actually? Let's jump onto our favorite website. If it gives crit across the board, which it does, your items have 25% crit chance. That's pretty good. I think that's good enough for me to take, actually. A wide buff as opposed to a single weapon buff is really nice. And crit chance scales well with our obsidian enchant. It scales well with Calico's double crit damage bonus. It's just a pretty nice get. I'm going to take a temporary boost here. Don't mind playing greedy at the moment, especially if it means we can preserve a bit of money. Take a small weapon for lifting, another bayonet. Sadly, it does not combine and is not going to be added to the board. We got Pig with the goated skin. I mean, Pig is our worst matchup, but they're not on level 10 yet. The super busted scaling builds shouldn't be online quite yet. I feel like we're just too strong, hopefully, for a Pig. This is like a fixer-upper. It's a freeze merchant, but you don't have your club yet. So you're going to freeze when you go below half health, but I think we're still going to be fine, even though you're pretty much healed back to full. We've got the Shark Claws scaling. It's just so strong. We're nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. And our constant freezing from Icy Bayonet is certainly helping quite a lot. So we really just kind of throw caution to the wind here and try to race to 10, because this build does not go late game.
You have at least a grain of wisdom.
Some good stuff here.
You have cowed me.
Tempering is decent, but we're trying to win earlier than this should be making an impact, really. And we're trying to be winning earlier than... We're not going to be using Shark Claws 10 times, so you're pretty irrelevant. Crit chance on Obsidian is pretty good. I think I'll take Left Eye. And Weapons Merchant for some buy sells. We'd prefer to see some cheaper stuff. 8. Ooh, you're a cool Piggles. We just have enough for another buy-sell.
Lufo teaches stillness. I prefer action.
Yeah, the econ is on the ropes, but lifting is still really doing work for us. We can beat anyone. Don't care about your skill. Although you have a handed, although we might block the handed, I think. Bloodrift Captain has some decent stuff for us, but I'm just going to push the XP. Let's just push the XP. Sorry, if you heard that. That was me finishing off my iced coffee. Yeah, look at how nasty that is. So we want to get Figurehead upgraded to give an extra 50 damage across the board.
Maybe a skirmish.
And any fight that's good, not good enough to beat, I think we just lose. Alright, Temptation is to take Haste and Charge, which can be really, really good for us, especially charge skills. I think we do that rather than skills unique to Vanessa.
Actually, I'm human.
Decent chance of getting something good here, and that's one of them. Got nerfed pretty recently, I'm sure, but any charge skill is really nice for us. Not super interested in non-weapon. The only non-weapon item that we're really looking for is Figurehead. So let's preserve some money. Oh no, it's the stupid bug stash again. The Curse of the Chocolate. Gumballs, can't really afford it. Medium items, can't really afford it. Oh, maybe let's have a look at mediums. Yeah, I was right about the can't afford it perspective, and I don't think I'd roll either. Should have just taken the free item then. I guess I should reload just in case not having this 10 health costs us the match. So let's reload and be careful not to lose progress. Do not click that ready button, as I've learnt the hard way. Hopefully we should be at the same spot. They really need to fix some of these bugs, these long-standing bugs. Speaking of long-standing bugs, we're up against a level 11 Dooley who's almost certainly going to be rocking some bugs themselves. The freeze is bad, but we also have some freeze of our own that's hitting pretty hard. I feel like we should be favoured against Bug Dooley, but let's see how we go. I mean, they've got the dream, but they don't have their freeze bug. So I think we win this. Yeah, just too much damage, I think. Maybe not. They're healing a lot, brother. How are you keeping up with me? Oh, so close. Damn. Damn. Yeah, the Bug Dooley is just super nasty, what can you say? Okay, really hurts. I don't think we're getting to 10. I didn't think we were before, but especially now, unless we can find something completely busted. Speaking of which, no, it's not that type of run. Yeah, we don't go late game. We're going to start struggling. We should be able to get to 7. Let's take a look at mediums now. We have a bit of money. Really wanted to see weapons there. Oh, that's a great upgrade. That's what we wanted. So that saves us spending our next upgrade on Figurehead. Your skill, none of these skills really work for us, so I think we just take the Octopus. Actually, your secondary skill, Arms Race, would be great for us. Hyper Focus doesn't work. Octopus, maybe we just have to find a way to fit on the board if we get it. And actually, Tiny Cutlass could make a case for its inclusion as well. Potentially over our Knuckle Duster. Or our Spike Knuckles, I should say. Still feel like we're pretty nasty, but yeah, the builds start getting really, really strong here, and just pure burst damage is not enough anymore. I think you have to play over here. Toxic Brass Knuckle is just too slow. Let's take a gamble on a gold tier weapon. Sure. It's such a minimal upgrade. Why even bother? It's 5 damage. It's nothing. But sure, it's kind of cool to have a diamond icy bayonet. And we'll take temporary boosts. We need all the help we can get, brother. Sure, let's take a look. Not really sure what we want, but a buy-sell here is fine. Don't think I'll spend on the reroll. I mean, we're nasty. We're certainly angry. You can't deny that we're angry. But Dooley. Dooley, 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 Dooley. Bugs, 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 bugs. Bethesda Dooley's still reigning supreme. You got some nasty skills, you got some bugs, you got a metronome, you got a power drill. How did you think of that, you cheeky little robot? How did you think of this build? Get wrecked. Sorry, that's my bitterness coming out. They actually only had one bug, so maybe I shouldn't be too bitter. But that's my bitterness towards Bug Dooley and Power Drill Dooley, just coming out in full force. We absolutely rolled them. That's a bit of toxicity. Anyway, that was extremely satisfying.
I'm a people person. And
You're a buy seller.
Oh, how about this weather where... Oh, you're leaving.
You're a good upgrade for us. You're a cool ship, but we can't afford you and you don't really work anyway. We're a very angry build. Also, I shouldn't be complaining because I'm playing Weapon Spam Vanessa.
Ride that tide!
Is there anything we really want to upgrade here? It would be Shark Claws if anything, which is a nice upgrade. But I feel like skills can just be better. And we have enough for a reroll, I think? Or is the reroll 8? Be nice to know what the reroll was here. All the upgrades are so marginal. I'm going to take a gamble here.
Was once young and impatient.
Reroll is 6, thank goodness. That's decent, but we're kind of fast. We're trying to be fast enough that we don't rely on items going off multiple times too much. I think we gamble on the reroll here. It is a gamble. Don't think it's paid off. I think it has to be first strike. This could be a throw, but I feel like we rely on... I feel like with first strike, we're going to hit so hard early. Even though that's for the AI fight, we just had no better options there. I feel like we hit so hard early, and then we forsake crit later on in the fight, but the idea is that the fight's over by that point. I feel like we're aggro enough to take on Volcus Enforcer.
Target acquired.
So yeah, we should be critting early here, which hopefully means we very much are not relying on going to the late game, even though this is how it is supposed to happen. So even though the crit now starts to drop, I think it's still worth it. That was a marginal take, but I'm glad with that decision. That's a cool item, but not for us. We'll take the gold. Small items, sure, maybe some buy sellers.
Taking the first step.
That's a buy seller.
Would you want to buy that? I mean, excellent choice.
Not going to spend on the reroll. Oh, let's spend the reroll. It's only 2. Live a little. I can't afford anything there though. Should have foreseen this circumstance. Okay. Has to be free loot. Upgrade the Fang. I think more... Upgrade the Fang will be nice extra damage. XP is also nice, would mean that we level. But I think the cooldown, it has to be cooldown. What do we put it on is the question. I think the answer... Yeah, really tough. Do you put it on Fangs that it goes off more often and therefore freezes more often? Or do you put it on something with a higher cooldown where you have a potentially... I think it's Shark Claws is the play. In fact, we don't want Shark Claws there, we want Shark Claws there. In fact, should we be playing Shark Claws on the left like this? 3.2 seconds now compared to 4.6. It goes off a lot faster. Should have thought about this before. But you steal the buff. You steal the left-handed buff from Fang. But you go off so much quicker. I think this is probably better. Shark Claw going up faster, yeah. I think this is probably better and probably what we should have been running before. Even though you're still left-handed and the crit chance from left eye, is it? Yeah. So that's not ideal, but the 30% cooldown chance on the 30% CDR on the Shark Claws is just so good for us. There's a lot of angriness going on here. These Vanessas are displeased with the world, but we take it. We're angrier. This build is coming to the end of its life, though. We're going to start running into nastiness.
Now this is how you win a war.
Can we get a skill to help us get over the line, maybe? Shield Bush. We don't do that, brother. We don't believe in using... Oh, it's the first time your enemy uses a non-weapon. So it's amazing. I was getting it confused with Mixed Message. But Shield Dash is, of course, absolutely phenomenal. One of the best skills we could be hoping for. Mixed Message is where if you use a non-weapon, you charge your weapons, which we don't do. But Shield Dash is fantastic for us. Seeing as the other options are bad,
So much new stuff to show you.
can't afford any buy sells and not
I'm
tempted to
sure you'll
reroll.
still win.
Still, I'm pretty sure it's better having you on the left. 30 damage across the board is just so nice for us. But we are forsaking 100 damage on the Shark Claws. Yeah, you can really make a case for either here. But I think this is better. And I think also, First Strike is actually really helping us. Is actually really nice for us. So I'm happy with that take. Because we just hit so hard early now with that crit chance. Even though after our first kind of volley, the crit chance has completely fallen off. Like already at 0 for the Fang now. Hopefully that first volley should be enough for us to win. Interesting item, but not what we're looking for.
Blades to the wind.
Definitely taking loot. So the Icy Bayonet has been fantastic for us. The carry has been the Diamond Deadly Figurehead. Has been MVP. Mimic. I think this is an encounter you can only get from... Oh my goodness. The Fangs. I could use one of those, brother. I'd like an enchanted one, please. Or Strength would also be great for us. I lost my train of thought. But yeah, the Figurehead has been fantastic for us. Alright, Heavy Fang is really good. I think you will be making the board in preference of the Cutlass. Right? You go off 3 seconds as opposed to 6 seconds. Although the 6 seconds is kind of actually 3 seconds because you have multicast. I think the Fang is just better than the Tiny Cutlass. The Tiny Cutlass is oddly enough too slow. At 6 seconds it's kind of too slow. But then doesn't that make the Calico super too slow at 7 seconds? Maybe you want this. Although you have double crit damage. And you're gaining a lot of crit chance when weapons go off. Enough to overcome the deficit from First Strike, so you hit super hard. Maybe it's like this and we look at potentially getting another small and replacing double barrel. I kind of like the double fangs. Not interested in non-weapons. I'm gonna pay, am I? No, I can't bring myself to pay for the health as Vanessa with this amount of health already. I'd rather save the money and look at buy selling weapons. Alright, so we're going to come up against some pretty busted builds now. This is where you just pray to Iron Jesus, pray to Ray Noodle to deliver us some beatable matches. This seems bad. This seems very bad. But we're so angry. And we're freezing, brother. You're putting on a lot of regen. But we're freezing, we're scaling, you're healing, you're vatting us. I think you've got us. I think you've got us. Yeah. Yeah, we don't like seeing Mac at this stage, that's for sure. But we get an enchant. Like I said, I don't think this build was destined to 10 once we lost some early matches. But that's fine. It's still been very fun. Haste on double barrel seems good. Bit of haste can't hurt. I'll take that over random, I think. So with that, I think the plan of replacing the double barrel is gone. Because you now haste 2 items, which is actually 4 items. Because you go off twice, 1 second. So that's really nice for us. So you're not making it back on the board.
I'm finished with fighting.
Lots of buy sells here. Katana could make a case for...
Hey, when you carry my weapon,
Katana could make a case for, but I think I'd rather be playing the 2 small items. It is just so fast though, isn't it? And we put it instead of you, so you'd proc even more. You'd play something like this. No, I think I prefer this. Especially the heavy enchant is something here. So I think we're going Katana-less. Especially with first strike.
Beautiful teaches stillness. I prefer
An upgrade or a skill with enough for a reroll? I think it has to be another skill.
If not today,
Feels like it's more likely to be have a higher impact.
the next.
These don't seem good. This is the opposite of first strike. They don't work together, safe to say. And the others are just complete misses. I guess we just take parting shot for double barrel, even though it's pretty much nothing. Ugh, that hurts. That really hurts. But that's the gamble of taking the... My music has crashed out. That's the gamble of taking the skill rather than the enchant. Rather than the upgrade, sorry. The upgrades just don't do that much for us. Lifting is incredible for us. We are very, very angry, especially with the haste. And especially with Shark Claws on the left. I think that is better, having Shark Claws on the left. Cannonade would have worked well in this build maybe, but that's the best skill we could have got. Geez, we hit hard early now. With first strike, flurry of blows, arms race. Yeah, we hit very hard early. Has to be weapon skills. Yeah, has to be glass cannon. we're the ultimate glass cannon build. The ultimate glass cannon build. Well, I can tell you, the fights are not going to last very long. But that was probably the best skill we could have got, I think. And does give us some kind of potential for the late game. We can't afford Shark Claws, but the upgrade isn't really too valuable, so it's whatever. Okay, so we hit extremely hard with our first volley. The only problem will be is if we're up against another angry Vanessa that hits even harder. But don't blink or you'll miss this fight, I think. You use non-weapons, which is good for us. You're an elemental depth charge, which is bad for us, but we get to go off. And we... Sorry, brother. Sorry, friend. Glass cannon. Well, we were. Look at this rage. The board is just anger personified. So now we just see whether we can get the last win. I'll take a sharpening stone, given that I don't have much money. Look at this Fang. This Fang is dealing nearly 800 damage. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious me. Has to be temporary boost. Look at this insanity. We don't care. Oh, we love Boss Harrow's skill, but I think we just press for the XP. In fact, we don't really care about Boss Harrow's skill because we either win in the first 2 seconds basically or lose. Look at this. Look at this madness. We are the ultimate glass cannon build. That was a great skill pickup for us. Plus it's funny. Gotta take loot. If you're not something that goes off in the first like 2 to 3 seconds and helps us be angrier though, you're not coming onto the board. Don't really care about chocolate. Let's just have a look at diamond. Maybe there's something. You're a buy sell. And sure, let's just see. It's the second last day. Second last hour. Buy sell you. So yeah, I mean it doesn't get much angrier than this, to be honest. And let's just take some more max health. Okay. I mean, it's kind of a shame that our freeze doesn't really matter because we're so angry. Look, you hate to see a late game pick, but we do have shield bash. Look, maybe we're angry enough. I reckon we're 50-50 here. We may just be angry enough to burn through a pig even. But we have a really hard time against freeze, and there's certainly some property scaling builds that are just too strong now. And you hate to see 30,000 health. Even with our extreme anger, I don't think we can get through all of that health before they burn us down, although we're not going to be too far away. We're so angry, but they just get there. Too much health. Okay, well there you go. Super, super fun build. Such an angry Vanessa with the glass cannon build, the ultimate glass cannon. Just unfortunate that we came up against an extreme health pig there. I think we were a decent chance of getting to 10, but we don't get there. But that's fine. That's the way the game happens. And like I said, it was losing the early days that really cost us the 10 piece with this type of build. Very fun run. Look at this madness. 900 damage ping. Hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you again to those of you who are supporting the channel. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.